Hello and welcome to Bargain and Subscription Gaming. My name is Rich. We're playing the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. Doing the second DLC, the Murder on Eridanos. And we're doing there's three different main quests at the moment. Right now we're doing trying to figure out who killed Helen, and I think we are clearing the ex-boyfriend who seems to be a bit of a goof. Okay, I don't want to. Let's see what our quest says. Do journal. Maybe we have to report to the dude. So we can just go to the map and oh, this teleport thing is terrible. They really should have done a better way to your mouse just keeps. I'm trying to click on teleport to the. Where I am. Alright, I'm going to landing pad. It's as close as I can get. Maybe once I'm here, I can. I don't know. The fast travel in this is just so goofy.
Halcyon and Helen's death was the worst part of all
You know, we could have just done the one trip up to the penthouse, but no. No.
What floor would you like to visit?
I'd like to visit the penthouse.
Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Inspector, I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie was nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate. Try not to feel too bad for him. Bertie is a brilliant athlete. The universe has balanced his talent by making him a slackwit. I wasn't aware Bertie was involved in contraband. What kind of dealer are we talking about? Of course, you're right. My apologies. Bertie's behavior is my problem to solve, not yours. Even if Bertie isn't responsible for Helen's murder, his conduct is vexing to me. He may require a lesson in consequences. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Bertie killed Helen? I'm relieved to hear that. I happen to be something of a fan of the hack attack. I'd hate to see him processed for murder, but we need to be absolutely sure. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation. I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Bertie within the public eye than let him languish in a bar at the docks. If you're through investigating Bertie, I recommend looking into Cedric Kincannon. He's been entirely too comfortable since we began this investigation. I don't trust Cedric when he's comfortable.
Huh. Oh, and that's another level for us. We get lots of levels just doing quests in this one. Okay, let's see. 1 long guns. Okay, we were just doing... All right. All right, now we need to go. Honestly, this... Why? They make it difficult. They make it difficult. Okay, which... Lord of Blight.
I don't know what to make of stuff light underground.
You.
Slug, I guess.
Appointment?
I can't shake the feeling they had something to do with Miss Helen's death.
Appointment? Yeah, that's why you're here. Appointment?
I should be here. Well, no.
No appointment? No talking to Mr. Kincannon. Not entirely out of the question. Convince me. Wouldn't mind a new bolter pistol. I've fired mine so many times the tips nearly fell off. Let's give Mr. Kincannon
A pistol.
ring. Mr. Kincannon, got a person of interest here to see you. Think they've got business.
That sounds like our inspector. Please, send him up.
Why, if it isn't the inspector, I was hoping you'd swing by. Here for my alibi, I assume. Another murder? Drunk Raptidons? Black Hole Bertie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street? Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing. Sounds as though you've already sorted it out yourself. Slug uniforms do seem to go missing from the hotel laundry with impressive regularity. Easy enough for someone to nick a few. Now ask yourself this. Why would anyone give thugs slug gear and send them after you?
That's what I'm just asking.
Right again, Inspector. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your intelligence. I'm used to working with Lou, you see? I hope you won't hold it against me. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector. With that settled, I assume you'll want to know where I was the night of Helen's murder.
Let's hear it.
Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine? His spine, specifically. If you'd like to know the exact vertebrae, I'm afraid I don't know. I can tell you he's quite dead. Not that it matters much. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie. And I am. Incriminatingly.
People.
People. Which, as I said, you should not trust. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune. I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I have a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid.
Oh, another side quest?
You may very well want to. This particular trouble strikes me as not unrelated to your investigation.
Oh, really?
Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter. I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the thefts began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence.
Extraordinary.
I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector. I do not trust it. I certainly wouldn't take that bet. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator. Oh, I never subcontract out that type of work, Inspector. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate,
Sure.
shoot her.
Nice.
No, I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account. Was there something else you wanted to discuss?
Yes.
Very well. A few. Helen was strangely curious about the private business operations around Eridanos. She said it was role research, but how much business know-how does one actor truly need for an action picture? I also arranged to have Helen supplied with magpicks, bypass shunts, and other hacking tools. She wanted to buy in bulk. That she bought in bulk? Not particularly. It takes time to learn to use tools like that deftly.
You're a good puppy.
I wonder, did she run out of time in the end? That is the question, isn't it, Inspector? Tell me, do you really believe Helen's death was a mere crime of passion? Or one of petty career jealousy?
Yeah.
This murder is bigger than Miss Helen's personal life. Bigger than her latest moving picture. Indeed. I suspect Helen arrived on Eridanos with grander plans than promoting Spectrum Brown. I knew I was right about you being clever, Inspector. I'm glad. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily. I might. I just might. Your point, Inspector? Yes, I suppose you have. Be very careful, Inspector. I'd very much like to see you still around for the grand finale, whenever it comes, whatever shape it takes. One moment, if you please, Inspector. I've answered your questions. I believe it's my turn to ask you a question now.
What's that?
What or who made you decide to investigate me? Was it now? Thank you for your honesty, Inspector. Thanks very much indeed. Now then, did you need anything else? The original incident? Well, I made him an offer he should have refused. An excellent deduction, Inspector. Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted Sublight to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added. Still technically visible to the human eye, but only just. You're quite good at this. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred, and Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger. Oh, I'm not an innocent party here. Please don't think I'm claiming to be. Provoking Lou may be fun, but I do have my reasons. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business. Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slice, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities. I wish I could wink, but it always looks like I have something caught in my eye.
A cursory fingerprint analysis shows this display case was recently opened or closed. Confirmed. The grip has been modified for a specific wielder, most likely the rifle's owner. Additionally, the plasma rifle sights appear to have been realigned to better accommodate a shooter with slight myopia in one eye. The fingerprints belong to Cedric Kincannon.
Admiring my rifle. Had it custom fitted by a woman on Monarch.
This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside.
You figured that out just by looking at it? Huh. We ought to talk shop one of these days.
Inspector, please consider speaking into the device in order to trace the transmission and reveal the receiver's location. Poor woolly cow impression transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range. Analysis inconclusive. However, there is a minor accumulation of dust particles present on the book's uppermost surface. The area within a 0.5-meter radius of the book possesses a dust coating comprised of at least twice the number of particles. That is highly likely, Inspector.
What's that you found? No, wait, don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case.
Gonna go find a bug.
This port seems real busy. Wonder if they're trying to compete with the Groundbreaker.
In a bathroom. Nice. In a bathroom.
Transmission endpoint discovered. The receiver in this book matches the transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime-covered. Due to the high level of foot traffic in this area, this unit is unable to determine who placed the device. Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death.
Alright. Time to go question Ella Tinsley. Restricted area.
Hi there. Sorry, this area is off limits to port vision. Oh, wait half a second. Sorry about that. I'll buzz you right in.
Hey, you think they keep any spare parts down here? Just wondering.
Is Fight Night still on then?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The biology of this sprat is highly unusual. This sprat has been in contact with multiple parasites, yet shows no symptoms of infection. An excellent point, Inspector. The unique immunological subsystem found in sprats is advantageous in fending off parasites, pathogens, and other biological threats. A cursory analysis of this organism's anatomy suggests it was bred deliberately for its unusually large size. Based on slug records of board-issued punitive sanctions against sublight salvage and shipping, this sprat is most likely intended for cage fighting.
just examine everything as we go.
You're the inspector, aren't you? Boss Kincannon said you'd be by about the cargo that's been going missing. Gosh, this is so neat. A real-life inspector. What's that like? Have you solved any mysteries yet? Ever had to shoot a suspect? Well, yeah, but they weren't suspects. Right, so the missing cargo. How can I help your investigation? That's the weird part. There's no pattern far as I can tell. The thefts don't make sense. I ask you, who would steal a handful of Spacer's Choice Sabers, so dull they can barely cut mud, but leave the spectrum black? Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to steal a Spacer's Choice Saber, full stop? Yeah, probably not. No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most recent theft. 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder. Well, I'm no inspector. If there is one, I'm sure you'll find it. Everyone here at Freight Storage and Processing, for a start. Thing is, the cargo is going missing before the shipments even get to the warehouse. Best I can figure, it's probably getting lost in the shipping yard. As for who has access there, Benton Chan, he's the shipping yard manager. He told me it's mainly just the loading automechs that handle cargo. Could be. Those things will break if you so much as look at them funny. That's Benton's area, but don't bother asking him for help. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help because he was dead. Brain dead, maybe. But no. My point is that if you think the automechs are a lead, you'll have to check on them yourself. Hopefully, you're mechanically inclined. Maybe they're keen on cashing out and want to go as painfully as possible. I don't know. Boss Kincannon's office is where he holds most of his meetings with important folks like Miss Helen. Just about all negotiations happen in his office too. Vendor pricing, major purchase orders, rentals for construction projects, you name it. Oh, before I forget, I figured you might want to access my terminal, so I had a spare keycard made. It's all yours.
Thank you.
I wish you were being sarcastic.
I don't really care what the shit's in, I don't know which. Okay. Oh, can't hack that. Slug. want to go and restrict the access area. But they won't let me. Alright. This place, wherever this is out, isn't it? Yes. The shitter is in our midst. Buy a bunk. Security.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, this loading automechanical's programming does not match factory default settings. The standard defensive protocol has been modified to include an additional trigger. For Type K-19 cargo transport automechanicals, defensive protocol is triggered by attempted interference with cargo, or its transportation, or attempted destruction of the unit. Once triggered, defensive protocol targets the perpetrator and applies lethal force until the target has been deceased for a minimum of 3 minutes.
Keep shooting until it's been dead for a long time. I like it.
There is a directive in place to initiate defensive protocol should an unsanctioned data log installed in this automechanical be removed. Slug automechanical maintenance records indicate this particular unit is frequently reported as out of position or missing for periods of time.
Loading automechanical unit K-14 is fully operational at 99% power. Please designate the cargo to be transported and its destination. How can this automechanical assist you? Access panel is open. Please be sure to close the access panel when you are done. Ejecting data log 17C. Alert. Failsafe protocol triggered. Kill mode initiated. Preparing to end user. Understood. This unit is programmed to facilitate user queries. Kill mode pause. User termination to follow.
Wait.
The ejected data log contains instructions to move cargo shipment 6, 8, 7, 5 outside the boundaries of the shipping yard. It also contains instructions to move randomized cargo shipments outside the boundaries of the shipping yard at intervals of 1 to 4 days. Apologies. This unit does not have access to cargo inventory lists. Kill mode re-engaged. Have a nice day.
One order of frickin' fan coming up.
That's the last of them.
Nice. Always. Alright, where do we have to go? Over here. Shows it like being right there. Is this the right place or am I going the wrong place?
Entering quiet mode.
somebody's inventory. So nothing looks special. Sealed. Interesting, but nothing in particular I need. Let's do this last bit and then we'll call it for this particular episode, I think. Oh, I could have gone upstairs here. What's the journal say?
Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure? Ooh, I love this part. The big reveal. So tell me, what happened? What makes you say that? Damn, you're good. Hacking the Automex. So that was our skimmer's game. But why? Everything that was stolen has seemed random. I certainly see no pattern. So, our culprit had something specific they wished to acquire and used the random theft as a smokescreen. I must say, Inspector, you've done excellent work on this case. Then that just leaves how the culprit knew where their true target would be, or indeed, that Slug would soon possess it. Am I right to think what you found in my office earlier was the other half of this listening device? Not quite, Inspector. That listening device belongs to me. I lent it to Halcyon Helen to assist her with role research. That, or she never intended it to stop. Impossible to know now. Unbelievable. I helped her. Gave her whatever she needed. I thought we were doing each other a good turn. This is a betrayal, Inspector. I do not take betrayal lightly. Helen should consider herself very lucky indeed that she is already among the dead, and that some other bastard beat me to putting her in the ground. Yes, I suppose we have. There is, however, a slight chronological incongruency to it. I now have a motive to kill Halcyon Helen, but Halcyon Helen is already dead. If I'd known Helen was stealing from me, I may very well have killed her, or had her killed. Alas, I did not. Again, I appreciate your assistance with this matter, and with the larger mystery at hand. I wish you luck with your investigation, though I doubt you'll need it. You'll find Helen's murderer. I'm confident of that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a way to excise my anger that minimally damages my business empire. I expect it will involve shooting quite a lot of guns.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. All right.
Inspector. Closely, I trust. Tell me what you found. Of course he's got an alibi. He runs Sublight Underground. He probably starts his day by preparing half a dozen alibis. With that in mind, do you think Cedric was responsible for Helen's death? No motive. That's disappointing, because it's exactly the conclusion he'd want us to make. Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain Cedric. His line of work is dangerous, though. There's always a chance for an accident. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already lost Dr. Blossom and Constable Keene, but at least Cedric's alive. The universe is a just place.
And I've been muted. Oh, gotta love that. What? Gotta love that. I will cut all that part there. Anyway, this has been a fun bit doing all this murder mystery stuff. We will finish this one here. If you guys want to see more of the Outer Worlds and the Spacer's Choice, I will continue playing through at least this DLC. I think once we get out of this DLC and back into the main game, it's not that much more to finish off the main game, and we'll be done with it. And I'll be kind of glad to get this off the drive and move on to something else. If there's games on Game Pass or PS Premium you're kind of interested in, write that down in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next time.